What's going on, YouTube? Back at you with another one. I got my main man here.
The Prince of Fresh Air. Thank you for having me, man.
Most definitely. So, this is a topic I definitely had to talk about. I mean, the minute I saw the news, I just said, you know what, let's just go ahead and get this out there. So, we got the Black Panther sequel set to begin shooting in July of 2021. This is according to Fox News. The superhero blockbuster was originally slated to begin shooting in March 2021. But the tragic death of the franchise's star, Chadwick Boseman, delayed plans as the cast and crew took time to deal with their grief. Yeah. So, what's your thought?
Yeah, I was reading about it, and yeah, it's a slap in the face. I'm gonna be honest. I was reading about it. Um, they don't plan on using CGI. I'm guessing what they're gonna do, like they did with Paul Walker, is use some clips from before, and then kind of do like a cameo appearance for the Black Panther in honor. But I just think it's too soon, man. It's too
All right.
soon. I mean, they already started planning this stuff out 3 months after his death. I mean, I'm not one of those sensitive people. I'm not one of those you have to wait 5 years for them to do it. But it's only been 3 months and they're already planning on shooting again. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Well, my first reaction, this is what I was going to say on my Instagram story, but I'm saying that, or the way that I feel is, I know Chadwick would want it to continue. I know for a fact if he was here or if he had an opinion on that at all, he would say, I want this to continue because obviously the franchise in Black Panther was so much bigger than him. I mean, the movie was about the collective, the ensemble cast, so at the same time, nah, I just can't. I mean, anybody who's watching or listening to this, I actually made a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. You can check that out, and you can pretty much tell, how much I looked up to Chadwick Boseman and how I feel about his whole passing, in general. I just feel like he should still be here to do it himself, And what makes me feel even worse is the fact that they're gonna have the character of Shuri have his sister be the damn Black Panther, yo. And I'm not being sexist. It's just
I
nah.
don't. But the thing is because Letitia Wright, the woman who plays Shuri, she said that like it's too soon for her to even consider taking that role. And I know she has an ironclad contract with Marvel, but man, I mean to lose a brother, you know, uh, in a sense of that he was like a role model for her, and for him to pass, and I understand. I'm all for her taking getting promoted. I'm not against that. I think it's a way for them to continue the story, but I think
Nah.
mentally for her is way too soon to even
Yeah,
consider
it's
the
just
idea.
like because I look at it this way. At the end of the day, it's a business, and I saw somebody said that where obviously Marvel is about their schedule and all of these films intertwine and they tie in together. So obviously they can't just say, all right, no more Wakanda, and then like that pretty much scraps the continuity of everything that they've done up until this point.
Right.
It's just like if let's say if they shot the movie and then the movie came out in 2022 or 2023, I couldn't help but think about him the whole entire time. Like let's say they got the villain and then the bad guys kicking their ass, and then I'll just be like, yo, Chadwick was here, none of this would even be happening right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
it's just really hard for me to just even contemplate on the next film because I think I might have been telling you or somebody else, but I kind of got an idea of what the sequel is going to be about, or at least how they set the foundation for. Is basically if you watch Endgame and after the blip, the Avengers that are remaining, they're sitting there like talking. They have like the holograms, and then they have a couple of guys, if you remember, and then
Right.
oh my god, what's her name? Dang. But the leader of the Dora Milaje, the like the women soldiers, like his bodyguards,
Yeah.
saying that they detected seismic waves underneath Wakanda. So basically, whatever the sequel is going to have something to do with that. because they were like, oh, so did you guys, address it? And she was like, we address it by not addressing it. So obviously that was going to be, you know what I'm saying, part of, what they were going to do in the sequel. So I just wish he was still here.
Yeah, it's the problem with Black Panther 2 is not so much that they want to continue, is that he has such an impact in that role in that movie that to even consider doing it so soon is tough for a lot of people to grasp. I'm not saying they won't make their money back, but it'll take people a while to really understand that they're moving on without him. And I'm curious to see what they do with it. But again, I just think it's too soon to even have that conversation of
You know what it feels like? It's kind of like when you have that favorite boy band or that favorite group or whatever, and then the lead singer, passes away, and then, it's kind of hard to look at the performance of the band when, that integral part, that central part, the linchpin, the keystone is not there. And then it's like, yeah, it's the same music, but it's not really the same because the heart and soul of that band is not there. That's like, watching the Jacksons perform right now. It's like, yeah,
right.
They're still the Jacksons, but you can't help but notice that like Michael's not there. And he essentially is like the heart and soul of the group. Like, yeah, you might have the moving parts, which, essentially they're an extension of Michael, but he was like the heartbeat that like keeps everything going. And I feel like Chadwick Boseman was that. So it's like, yeah, the Black Panther movie in the film was like the body, but he was like the heart that like just pumped blood and gave life. You know what I'm saying? Like gave life to the rest of the body, because that's what heart does. The heart pumps blood and it gives, life to the rest of the body essentially. So, and without that, then what's a human body without the heart? You know what I'm saying? Like literally, not even just figuratively, but.
Yeah, I'm not even mad at Ryan Coogler. I know he's a director, and I'm pretty sure like he probably doesn't want to do it. But hey, if Marvel says we have to have a deadline, and like I know they plan out their sequels, and with the pandemic, it kind of threw things out of the loop. But my fear is what you said earlier. You said they may not address it, and I think that's the wrong approach, because if people go in that movie theater and they fail to even at least have like a 5-second clip of him, well, it's a hologram or something.
I don't want to see him though, because this is my problem. It's like we know he's not here in real life, because it's gonna hurt me either way, because they do the movie, right? And then you know how sometimes like that happens to like an actor or an actress in real life. So then what they do is they write in the story that something happened to that character off screen. I don't want that. Like it's gonna like honestly, like right now, if I went to go see a movie and they did something like that, I'll probably walk out the theater. I mean, it ain't nothing but $11-12 to go see a movie, but like it would really bother me that bad. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's listening or watching this, watch my tribute to Chadwick Boseman, and then you'll see what I mean by that. Like listen to him talk. Like anybody who likes him or who loved him or looked up to him like I did would just feel the same way. Like he should still be here.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think, there does come a point in time from Kobe to Paul Walker. Well, Kobe's not active, but just in general, the greats, what they do. I think it does become a point in time where you kind of, I'm not saying forget them, but you kind of have to move on. It's like with the Fast and Furious. I think it was 7 when Paul Walker died. They knew that. Yeah, he did film a couple scenes, but wasn't nearly enough to even complete the film.
Right.
So I think for them, it was a matter of, okay, do we just scrap his footage altogether and just say, he died, off screen, or do we find a way to pay tribute to him? I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Oh, no, I definitely see where you're coming from. I just think that, well, with Fast 5, it's a little different because I think that is even more an emphasis on ensemble, because there's no really like star of, the Fast and Furious. Like you might have like the bigger actors, like let's say The Rock and Vin Diesel, and they're kind of like the bigger guys, but for the most part, they're all sharing the pie equally. You know what I'm saying? So everybody kind of gets their time to shine. Whereas Black Panther, he's the Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the guy. So it's kind of like you take him out of the equation, and it's like but
which is why I think for them not to address it.
they're going to address it. I think, well, what I was saying when I said address it was literally in the movie. They were saying that the best way to, you know, address the seismic waves underneath Wakanda is by not addressing it. So that's what I was saying. Like,
Okay.
the premise of, you know, the next movie. So when we go see it, mark my words, they're gonna probably start it with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like during the events of Endgame, this is happening, and then they're gonna fast forward to present day, and that's how things are gonna. But yeah, they're definitely gonna address it because Marvel gets all their movies right. You know, Marvel is usually like hit or miss, and they pretty much. I don't think I've walked out of a bad Marvel, you know, superhero film yet. So
right, and I mean,
first,
yeah, I mean, my opinion, like, is it too soon to do it? Absolutely, but since they already consider on doing it anyway, my thing is, if they are gonna go that route, they should do something in the beginning. What, like, whether they take footage from previous, like, you know, Avengers Endgame or whatever, and put them, you know, use those clips to kind of find a way to
to like
write them
weave
off
in,
into the
so he's
sunset.
not like.
Yeah, he's just not an afterthought, and you don't see a hologram of him talking about, you know, I'm gone.
I just really wish that, you know, in conclusion, I just wish that Chadwick was here to, you know,
Absolutely.
do the role himself. And yeah, I'm like, it's even getting me a little emotional now. It's just, I just really wish that, you know, he was here. He just died way before his time. Like the definition of untimely is his death, you know, pretty much. So, any last words you have, bro?
You know, I think, you know, in terms of that, you know, it is sad. You know, 2020 has not been good for, I mean, for anybody really. Um, and I think Chadwick would have wanted them to proceed, and, you know, hopefully the Miss Wright, who's playing his sister, gets the chance to honor him. And I think Marvel will do him justice. I think at some point, with all the greats, at some point it's sad. I mean, I don't want to admit it, but at some point you kind of do have to kind of start getting these movies out. So they have to find a way to put his legacy in there, and honor him for that. And I hope that, you know, Chadwick's death is sad, and I think I think Marvel will honor him with Black Panther 2. I don't think they should recast him. I don't think they should even put another actor in that role, because that would be a slap in the face.
Yeah.
But I do think, you know, at some point, you know, there are business, and they kind of have to start, you know, thinking about
any
the
actor
future.
that they try to cast as T'Challa will get chewed up. Social media will already chew that whoever that person is to shreds, because, you know, it's just, you know, it is what it is. But anyway,
You know,
I hope you made it to the end of this video. Feel free to check out some of my other content on the channel. We also got the Prince of Fresh Air podcast on Spotify. Check him out. We got a lot of content on there. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Rest in peace, Chadwick.
Good luck.